Hey up, it's playing Neca here with another figure review. Today we have got the Neca Aliens movie Sergeant Craig Windrix. See? Sergeant Craig Windrix. If you can see from the glare. I have two of these. I actually have like freaking, I think 4 of these. It's a bit crazy. I've bought quite a few bundle aliens on offer, and yeah, I've now just got copious amounts of this stuff lying around. It's a bit crazy how quick this stuff can accumulate. Found the same kind of thing in my Arkham collection. Moving on. So, like I said, today we've got the Neca Craig Windrix figure. And what can we say about this figure? These Marines are awesome. They really are amazing figures. And I'm actually really blown away with how well Neca have done on them. Their detail is phenomenal. Their accessories is mind-blowing. Their face sculpt, I think, is really, really good. And just generally absolutely blown away. These things to me are kind of like DC Directorate Collectibles detail with like Marvel Legend Plus articulation. So they've really got the nail on the head there. Do have any gripes? Kind of some nitpick gripes, nothing major. Just trying to think what really is. Really, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but we'll go over that in a sec. Let's have another look at the one in the box, and we'll go over the whoops and we'll go over the actual box of the thing. So as you can see, he starts there sporting his lovely, all his try again. All of his accessories are on display here. So he's got a nice flamethrower here, the flashlight, I think camera as well. It's been a while. I can't remember if that's a flashlight and a camera or just flashlight. No, I think it's just flashlight. And then he's got his sonar sensor there. He's also got the body armor and a welder attached, which we'll go over all that in detail. Really is a great figure. So like I said, on the case, you've got at the top there, it says Aliens with that lovely eye I like so much. And then you've got, wait for the focus, there we go, Sergeant Craig Windrix. And we have warning, choking hazard. Small parts not for children under 3 years. Ages 17 and up there. We've got a very cool dramatic pose of him there holding the flamethrower. And on this side we have a few little camera shots of him. Mission time Windrix C. Says all that there. Very cool. Some stats up there. Very, very cool. And on the back you've got the bio there saying the sole survivor of the Nostromo. Ripley is discovered in a cryogenic sleep 57 years later by a salvage ship. Blah, 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 blah. You can read the rest. It's there. You should be able to make it out quite clearly. Also available. Well, we've been over that one. We've been over that one. Now we're over this one. At the bottom, you've got some barcode, Neca, some other information there. And then top, you've just got a window of the actual figure. The background, I've probably not mentioned before, it does look very cool. It's like a bulkhead kind of ship rubble. So very, very cool. So let's move that to one side. Bring this guy back on. Like I said, he's got quite a lot of accessories, and it's all pretty much removable bar the armor. Well, I say bar the armor. We'll go into the armor separately in a bit. So let's have a look. Take out his flamethrower first, and have a look at this. It's going to bring the camera down and zoom in on it. So this has actually got a really nice sculpt to it. It's got a lot of detail in it. One thing I think weird is the handle on it. It's very big and bulky compared to a pulse rifle. Let me just grab one. You can see the handle's like massive, and the canister there which holds the petrol, very, very cool. And then you've got the tip here with the little sparky bit. Very, very, very cool. Really nicely detailed. And he holds it fine, as you saw. Very, very, very nicely detailed. It's a nice, interesting concept on the actual flamethrower. This part here kind of looks a bit like the M4 carbine rifle. But so that's his flamethrower. And then you have his sonar gun, which again is really, really well detailed. And some of the effects on this is just amazing. You've got like a little trigger here, a little keypad there, all these wires and hoses going throughout. And you've got a little screen here. It shows the red dot of him. This is just a little vinyl sticker that's put on there. Seems to be coming away a bit. And you can see like a little red dot of him, and then the blue dots are the aliens or colleagues. Really, really amazing. Strap is a soft rubber, so you can hook it around, and he does hold it really well. It does hold it really well in his actual secondary hand, which I think is pretty cool. So you can have him like looking down at that, while you can hold his flamethrower in his hand if you wanted to. I'm not going to put it back in because I want to take this stuff off. So that's very, very cool. I really like that. I'm happy they've all come with this. That's really cool that they've all got one. Now the second one is cool, but it's annoying at the same time. The flashlight, it just pegs into there, but to get it in there can be incredibly fiddly because the armor is a floating piece, and to line the holes up, and if the hole's got anything in the way, then it's very difficult. I think I may have actually almost snapped one of these in trying, so it's a bit annoying. Now it does look like that this is a hinge, but it's not. It is a separate piece, but it's glued on, same as that. So it has no articulation, and it has this wire here, which I personally just tuck under the armor, just under there, so it looks like it's going somewhere, which I can't seem to do right now. There you go. So when that goes back on, it's very cool. Can he hold it? I guess so. Not quite sure why you'd want him to, but let's have a quick look at this. Again, it's very, very nicely detailed. Got some nice textures, which they didn't need to go to that level, but they did. And just got some really nice, got some hinges there to tighten and loosen it. It's just very, very, very cool. Really nice flashlight. And then the other thing, which is removable, that doesn't look like it, is his welder. That was one of the first things I took off, and I wasn't sure what these were. I had to actually look these up. I've been told they're welders. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because I honestly cannot remember these things from the movie, and it's been quite a while since I've watched them. Like I said, I'm waiting to get them on Blu-ray, and then I'm going to watch them all again. But it's very cool, and he can hold it just fine, I believe, in both hands, because the hands are shaped differently. It holds it better in his trigger hand because it's got quite a small handle. But it's very simple, solid green with a little black. This part here's got a black screen, and yeah, it's just solid green. But it's very, very cool. Again, nice little touch. And this simply just pegs in to here. And again, something else that they've all got. Once you get it on, it stays there quite snug and it's out of the way. Now he's got a combat knife here, which is actually a soft rubber. So you can see that handle is very, very loose. And then I watched a review on I think McFarlane one of these, and he has a sensor which he gives Ripley in the watch, which again I cannot remember. It's been so many years, but that I believe is what this thing here is. But it's not removable, that, unfortunately. He's got some other pockets and pouches on the armor attached to the belt here. And while we're speaking of the armor is amazingly detailed. Like I said, you've got that one hole there, which is for plugging in the flashlight with this kind of like D-shaped peg. And then you've got these nice little decos on here. So let's have a quick look at that. As you can see, you've got a penguin up the top here with a snow cone, some bowling pins down there, a face here, you've got some holes here, I think where the acid burns through, and it's showing a bit of the actual under armour there. And this side, not so much. And then you've got DOA, says his name Windrix, then you've got a little medal here. So really, really cool. And they're all got individual decoration on them. Like if I grab Hudson, who's been used in a lot of my videos. See, he's got a skull and he's got some other details here, which I'll go over in a bit more detail on his review. But I just want to show you the difference. See, they're not all the same. Very cool. Now, while we're on a close-up, you can see also on his sleeve, he's got a badge there. And this one, you've got his rank, and you've got the US flag there. Moving up to his face. Honestly cannot remember if this is a good likeness to the character. I think he looks a bit kind of like almost psycho look. It might just be a freaked out look. I'm not too sure what they were trying to go for there, but it's very, very cool. And he seems to have like a little scar just below the nose. Yeah, the other one's got that as well. I was just checking in case that was a default. But the hair is really well sculpted. I think maybe a bit of paint apps would have been nice in there, but the skin tone's very good. And the lips and the eyes have a nice paint, and they're just a bit kind of weird. but the head sculpt itself is actually really, really nice. And like I said, this suit is painted all throughout under the armour, and then you go all the way down here, you've got the waist protection here. Now this is actually also a soft rubber, so it won't hinder on the articulation. Same as this is also a soft rubber, so it won't hinder on the articulation at all. And then you go down, you've got the knee pads with the armoured shin guards, and then some army boots at the bottom, which again, really, really nicely detailed. The paint on these is very good and very well detailed. These things are just actually, like I said, they're really, really well detailed. Now, when I say reference to DC Direct collectibles, is because one thing I've noticed about DC Direct collectible figures is they like to layer different things opposed to painting them. And I think this is a lot of where they've gone for, especially with the accessories. So I'm going to show you something, which is a bit of a sneak peek, which I actually did last night because I was curious. I wanted to know if you could actually remove the armour. And as I've got 3 of these, I thought I'd try on one. The answer is you can, but not without a sacrifice. I had to unglue this part here. So I don't think you're going to be able to get it to be removable. And as for the lower part, that's actually glued on in the actual waist. So for those who wanted to know, this is what he looks like without his armour on. I could take the knee pads off also, but I haven't got around to that yet. I wasn't that bothered about them. It was to me more just what it looks like underneath the chest armour. So as you can see, they've gone to the detail of painting all of this underneath. They could have quite easily made this a sculpted on piece or glued it on, and they wouldn't have to do all of this extra detail, but they did. And it's really, really well done. The camo is awesome. Very, 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 very well done. Really impressed with it. This is still a soft rubber piece, so it doesn't hinder in articulation whatsoever. So you can see there's a little square there, and that's where that peg's in there. So this is actually a separate piece to the armour, which goes on there. And like I said, just a quick close-up, had to unglue, kind of pry it apart at the seam, and then just pulled it off. It wasn't too difficult to do, and I could quite easily put it back on with no damage whatsoever, so I'm really not that bothered about it. But I do think it's cool. But that's, again, for those of you who wanted to know, because I was curious, and you know, I'm a curious person, that's what they look like without the armour. I don't know if they've all got the exact same lower torso. I'm trying to look at one now. I think they all might have the same lower torso, just with different arms. So we'll go over to them at a later date. So back onto this guy. So let's go over his articulation. His head is on a ball, so it can go back that far, and then forward that far. You can get a pivot from side really far to side really far, and then you can rotate around full 360 degrees, so that's really good. Shoulders are on ball discs. Now these ones, because he's got sleeves, he actually has the elbow rotation, but if I grab Hicks quickly, see he's got a bicep rotation and then an elbow bend, so they're not all the same. And so like I said, so he's got his sleeves, he's got an elbow shoulder ball disc, so you can go up that high, and you can rotate around 360 degrees. Now if you're going to go around straight like that, you're slightly hindered by the armour, but you can go around in it. As I said, it is a very soft rubber, so it isn't going to really get in the way too much unless you put your arm straight up. The elbow rotation is full 360 degrees, and it's actually pretty decent. They've done a good job with this one. I must say, much better than the Predators. The Predators, they were kind of like about like that, but look how close you can get that at almost the peak of his bend. Of course, if you want to go all the way around, then you're stuck like that. But who does that? So that's really good. They've got a nice range there. Now, I think this might be a slight gripe. I feel like his wrists feel a little bit weak, and I'm a bit worried about them. You can rotate them around 360 degrees, and then they can go up that much, and they can go down that much. And they're kind of angled down a bit. So if I grab his flamethrower quickly, you'll see what I mean. See, he's pointing it down. They're all like that. Even with the whoops, it's just my mouse mat, don't worry. Even with a pulse rifle, see, they're pointing down. So just something to take into account when you're posing these guys. Now they've got a diaphragm joint, which I'm going to show you on this guy. See, it's just there, and it's really got a great range of motion. So I'm going to show you with the armour, because this is what you're going to be buying. is you can go forward that much, and then you can go back that much. So great range. So forward and then back. You can also pivot from side to side, and then you can rotate a little bit left to right. So you can get a great range of motion in there. Now you've also got a waist joint. Again, I'm going to show you on this one, which is very stiff, but it is there. You're kind of mainly going to rely on the diaphragm though. And then you have T-cut hips, so yes. Again, you know, I was worried about that. So he's got a Spartan of that. Respectable. Not the best, but respectable. And then a split kick of that. Very respectable. Now they have upper thigh rotation, but these Neca ones, they seem to be very stiff, and I'm worried about breaking them. It seems like the balls on a snap post actually rotate. This one's fine. So you can see it can go from there to there. And that's it, unless you bring them out because of the sculpt of the actual leg. Like I said, they have a double in the knee. Man, that is really stiff. Sorry about that. Yeah, double in the knee to there. So that's really good. And then finally just have a ball hinge at the ankle, so you can point from there to there with a pivot of that to that, and then you can rotate around full 360 degree. So you can get, again, a truly great range of motion, and you can pose these guys into an all manner of things. Something I want to point out quickly, which I didn't really go over, is on his left arm he has a watch, I think. Oh no, I think that's the sensor strap. That's that I was mentioning earlier. I couldn't see a dial on it, so I think that's what that is. So like I said, you can get these guys into an all manner of things. Now, one thing that's very cool with a lot of these... so I'm just trying to get him stand up straight. All these accessories is, even when you don't have him in hand, they can hold them. Except for the flamethrower. Like, Hicks here comes with a shotgun, but he also comes with a pouch for it. The pulse rifles have a strap so they can go over the shoulder. So let's put this back on. Wow, went in straight time. First time. Did not have that much luck last night. So you just tuck the cable in the armour there, just so it's going somewhere. And then make sure the screen is facing towards them. Hook this over. Like that. Just tuck it behind him. And then get his arms into a weapon holding position. And get that flamethrower in his hands. Definitely not my preferred choice of weapons, although it was very effective in the movie. But then you can get him, like I said, into some pretty decent action poses, like you're ready to take on the world. Sorry, I feel like my voice is dropping a bit. It's getting a bit dry. I do apologise. And I don't have anything to drink by hand. So what overall opinion of this figure? I think this is actually a really great representation of the Aliens Marines, and they do look very, very, very cool. Would I recommend picking this figure up? Hell to the yes. These things are awesome. Price range, I couldn't advise you. Like I said, I haven't actually bought a single Marine. I've only bought bulk of them. So I have... Come on, stand up, sorry. There you go. I have quite a few of them, but I'm going to do some custom ones as well. So let's go to height comparison. He stands literally just under 7 inches tall. Don't fall. Standing him next to Dutch. Dutch has got a bit of height on him. Come on, don't fall. His foot feels a bit loose. Standing him next to a Xenomorph. They've got a lot of height on them. These things are 9 inches tall. I knew that was going to happen. And then they're all going down. I know he's a bit cockeyed-legged. Bucky Cap. And then the Wasp Predator, quickly. So they're very in scale with the Aliens and the Predators and Dutch. Maybe not quite in scale with Marvel Legends, but they're still very, very, very cool figures to have, and they look absolutely awesome. It's not like you're going to be posing these guys with many Marvel Legends anyway. They look pretty cool, maybe with some Marvel Select movie Avenger figures, something like that. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, you can hear it in the background, just straightening them out. What do you think? In scale? I was trying to avoid that. So like I said, his ankle's just gone a bit weak on me. It's because I've been posing him and these lights are very warm. So it's made the plastic a bit soft. But like I said, this guy is a really, really awesome figure. And I've more than recommend picking him up. They're great figures to have, great in the collection, and they look awesome together. I hope they make more and more of them. I'd like to get all of the Marines, and even that, I can't think what her name is, the one with the massive gun. She would be an awesome. So Neca, if you're listening, work on that bad girl. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, definitely pick these guys up. They're really cool. Again, I can't advise on a price. I do apologise. I got a massive bundle, and then I got another massive bundle, and I got another bundle. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's my review. I hope you liked it. Please, as per usual, leave any comments below. Please subscribe, and you know the routine. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.